it. So, yeah, we gave him the best experience we could, and I think, I think it went well.
Yeah, you didn't scare him away.
No.
So, hey, how big could it
he said
be?
he had a good time.
He got to meet Nico the dog. He got to see some broken parts. He was looking around. He was checking out the Nomad project and all sorts of cool stuff. And then, time was getting tighter and tighter, so now we started talking faster. It's like, okay, let's cram all this into 4 minutes. I said, let me get you back to the train. Off we go.
Wow.
So wait, there's a Nomad project?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it sits in the driveway. It's only sitting in the driveway maybe 30 feet away from where the Pontiac is housed. It's a car that's been in my family circle since 72.
I don't remember that. I remember a police car.
Right. Well, the Nomad now sits where the police car was.
Right.
Okay, so where was the Nomad when I visited?
Out at a body shop, out about another 50 miles.
Okay, then I'm not wrong.
No.
No. Okay.
And it wasn't at a body shop having body work done. It was sitting in the yard having weeds growing through it.
Right.
So when
returning to the earth.
Right. So when this guy had to repave his lot, he says, listen, you got to get your junk out of here. So we towed it back. I took the cop car, went to the AutoZeum. Now, the cop car was going to be the donor for the Restomod body swap, the Nomad body onto the Caprice chassis. But as I told Povey, now I have a straight gasser. Steve donated a straight front axle. So now the Nomad may become a gasser, which has always been my two choices with the car.
Yes, I know. We've had that discussion before. You know which way I go.
You should have seen Povey light up when I told him, because he's like, gasser, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then we started going on,
Yeah, who needs turns?
I said, instead of the your fuel-injected LT1, how about the big block Chevy under the bench with the single tunnel ram that I just picked up? That's the single quad tunnel ram from Vic. And he's like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely be something to rumble up to at cruise night, that's for sure.
So...
Yeah,
to say that we definitely had common conversation goals would be an understatement. Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, I'm very glad. I feel like the matchmaker in Fiddler on the Roof.
Right. And that's what we always say. I tell Bill the same thing. I call Bill to follow up and said, listen, we're facilitators. If something comes my way and I know someone who's better at handling it than I pass it off. You just send it down the road to the right guy.
Right.
Which is kind of what Bill did. He kicked it over to me, and and luckily things worked out.
You are an excellent tour guide / Sherpa / tech advisor.
That's just because there was burgers involved, Joe.
Yeah, okay. Well, how about pizza? Did you hit him with pizza?
We didn't get pizza. No, we can only have one lunch. Well, one lunch in a day. Is that?
Yeah, that's true. That's
no,
true.
No. You have first lunch and second lunch.
Yeah, I wasn't with him long enough. I really didn't have enough time. If he could have stayed longer in the afternoon, yes, there would have been second or barbecueage or something.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was there only for a limited amount of time.
Right. So we'll work it out. So
what else are you guys working on?
Oh God!
Well,
trying to keep these gears rolling smoothly every week, which is I think we've been succeeding nicely.
Yeah, sometimes trying to keep the daily drivers running. My family, between the 5 daily drivers, that's kept me busy. Plus, I work in a repair shop, so besides my regular job, my day job working for an auto parts company.
Right.
Although they did drop that '56 sedan delivery in my garage spot, that's like it's been sitting for like. The guy said 3 months. It was more like about 8 years.
Yeah.
We have to raise that thing from the dead. No brakes, locked motor, some kind of FE block. But you know when you pull the spark plugs out and you get that smell of varnish?
Like an old lawnmower.
Yeah, it's like the crypt.
Right.
So that's my project, to get that thing kind of spinning over.
Yeah.
And the owner may actually keep it, although he's not a car guy. He didn't even know which way to hook up the battery. So,
well, yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe he might just whoop it on me. I don't know.
Good.
The boys in the undisclosed location did kind of take a shine to the thing.
Yeah, you'd have to. It's such a cool car.
Mm-hmm.
And I just told Joe before the show, I'm going through the old Sinju syndrome of my own. And if you don't know what that is, it's when a person brings a car in to be fixed and they say, all right, do the brakes. And the mechanic does the brakes, they get the car back, and 2 days later they call up and say, hey, Sinju did the brakes. My
dome light don't work.
Yeah, my dome light doesn't work. What did you do to my car? Well, I just jacked up the Fiat the other day to change the starter, stopped halfway through and put the bolts back in because it was getting to be too tight of a project. Let the car down, and the directionals didn't work. So I Sinju'd myself and took all day yesterday to figure it out.
I hate when that happens.
So, that's our lives. It's just like with you with the Opel and the Polara. Just the little stuff that you have to... Is it push pins in the headliner today, or is it going to be trying to find a parking space?
Yeah.
So.
Now it's, it builds up on you, and then also sometimes it's like, like with the Polara, I was telling you, that the tires are bad, and the tires are bad because the alignment was bad, and the alignment was bad because the bushings were bad, and the shocks were bad, and all of that is stuff where it's like I've known that for a long time, but it was only a little bad for a long time,
right?
And somehow it was a little bad, then it was a little more bad, then it was a little more bad, but it was always just a little more bad, and then then the next thing you know, you're like, wow, this is terrible. Like I have a terrible example to people about cars. I literally the week before was making fun of somebody else for driving on
shoemaker holes in their shoes
tires, and then we jack up the Polar, and it's like, oh, like this looks like tweed, like texture,
Nice.
Wow.
It looks like what came out of the seat cushions of the Opel. Oh my God.
Well, that's what we call a turnster. You have a cylinder that you got the turnster. The tire replacement turns to the shock replacement, which turns to the bushing replacement, which turns to the ball joint replacement.
And the alignment.
And next thing you know, it's like, you know what? Let's drop a motor in it.
Yeah, that's it. Let's go. Yeah, so that's the way it goes. But I think you're a great role model for people, especially women everywhere, who should get more involved with their vehicles and be in touch with them like you are. I think it's great.
Yeah, it goes to show you have to be.
I hope that if nothing else, I hope that women or men out there too, because I think it's hard for everybody just starting out. It's not like, I don't know, if you were kind of maybe interested in cars in the 60s or 70s, there were examples of people working on them all over your neighborhood, probably.
That's
right. Somebody would have their hood up someplace.
Most people knew how to do basic stuff, but now if you're into it, if you're not lucky enough to have like kind of a direct family member or a really kind neighbor who's into it, like you might not know how to get started. And so if nothing else, I'm hoping that what I can do with my columns and with Roadkill and what Freiberger and Finnegan are doing with Roadkill is just sort of being like, hey, this stuff is fine. You can get going on it. You can do it really badly. Like that's how you learn how to do it better. And
right.
It doesn't have to be like this perfect show-ready, valuable classic car.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be some rich guy, some rich old middle-aged guy, older guy who's got tons of money and
credit cards.
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't twist the wrench himself. You get out there, fix your own stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or build your own stuff.
Right.
Totally. And that doesn't mean you can't be into the rich guy stuff either, because I just watched most of the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
That's some rich guy stuff.
There's a reality check for you.
That's all right. That was on this planet.
Yeah. Elana, we're going to run. We thank you very much for spending some time with us. And
much appreciated, yes.
And I will pester you in the future to come back on again and talk about future projects or stuff I read about that I think is interesting that you've written. And, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, send me some pictures of all these new projects, and I'll send you a copy of the new magazine.
You got it.
Fantastic.
All right.
Okay, Elana, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was the darling of Dodge, the omnipresent Opel owner, Elana Scherr.
Maveness of Mopar.
There you go, from Roadkill magazine and Hot Rod. So,
even the name is cool, Roadkill.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They do a lot of stuff. They have too much fun out there. They really do.
Yeah. I guess when you get shook up by an earthquake, every couple of days,
right,
changes your outlook on life.
Right. I don't know. You want to take a quick last break, Joe?
I think we should, yeah.
All right, let's do that.
Motormouth cousin Charlie there will get mad.
Motormouth Radio, Joe D. Ray Warrior. Let's take a quick break and catch our breaths. We'll be back in a minute. Keep it where you got it.
Have you seen DJ Solero?
No, why?
Well, he was supposed to be here right now to tell everyone about his show, The Rare Groove Session, but I can't find him anywhere.
I'll keep my eyes peeled. Maybe he went to get something to eat.
Food? He went to get food? I mean, who can eat at a time like this?
Relax. I'm sure everyone will figure out when they can listen to the most incredible music from the 60s and 70s that they may have not heard before.
But what if they can't? What if they never figure out when the Rare Groove Session is on? What happens then, huh? I don't want to live in a world where no one knows about the Rare Groove Session.
Hey guys, ready to tell everyone about RGS?
DJ Solero, where the have you been?
I was getting something to eat.
How can you eat at a time like this?
What are you talking about?
Don't mind her. Go ahead. Tell everyone when to listen.
Okay, then. If you're looking to hear some mind-blowing music, check out the Rare Groove Session Friday nights at midnight on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Hey, you in the car. Yeah, you. You're a fan of the music of Sly Stone. I know you are. No reason to hide it. You've probably been looking for a radio program that highlights his music. Well, then look no further. Let me introduce myself. I am DJ Solero. That's Soul followed by Air and an O. Solero. Well, never mind about that. Back to what we're both here to talk about. The Sly Stone Show features the music of Sly through the various artists who have covered and sampled his music, and I'll be playing some of the original music that helped impact a generation. Come on, I know you're looking for some feel-good music, so just keep your radio right here for the Sly Stone Show. And you might want to think about cleaning up your car before we start. This thing is nasty. Oh, back to what's important. It's the Sly Stone Show every Friday afternoon at 3 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
All right on cue. He comes back in on the break, and Joe D comes right back on his cue on the mark on Motormouth Radio.
You know that thing you were talking about, stuff spraying when I drink?
Yes.
It's true.
All right. Well, we're just about at the end of our time here, Joe. We've done plenty today. You know, for a day that we had no guests, I think we did a pretty good job
We
of
sure as heck did.
keeping ourselves busy. And
So what do we got coming up?
yeah, next week we have Mr. Alex Argos from AC Pro. He'll be on the show to talk about acprocold.com. It's a for people who don't know, it's an air conditioning refill system for your car. Very easy to use at all auto parts stores everywhere. The thing is, it's very popular. I first saw it on a TV commercial. Cause
They've been running a lot of those lately, yeah. And sometimes trying to get your AC system fixed professionally is expensive.
It's very expensive, yeah.
And besides that, and on the hot days, that one AC machine most shops have is kind of backed up, so you may be waiting a day or two or three.
Exactly.
So what do you do in the meantime? Not go to work or just change your clothes?
Or like me, drive a car that doesn't have AC.
Right. Yeah.
Just like, hey, doesn't matter.
Some people can handle that, some people can't.
Yeah,
But,
sometimes it's a refreshing change.
yeah, I agree.
And I'm not of the lizardy variety like you and Chris are. I don't have I don't have the Sicilian in my blood. Mine's Nabaldon. So
Yeah.
we hide under the trees with the cheese and the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy the heat, but some people come in and like they won't drive the car unless the AC works.
Right.
I'm like, so how are you going to get to work? I'm going to take an Uber. I'm going to do. I'm like,
Wow.
Your AC don't roll down the window.
Yeah.
Oh no, but for people like that, maybe AC Pro might be what might be the thing until somebody gets their hands on it.
I will say if your person has a level of competency that's not necessarily of a professional variety, but a little more than a troglodyte, and you can read, because
Right.
there are instructions.
Yeah, the one that the tag on the hose says "Do not insert in mouth."
Right. They
for
even
example.
have a thing on their website, acprocold.com, where you plug in the information on your car, and it'll show you where the
Where
charging
the ports
port.
are. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Seen that. Yep.
You don't have to rely on finding it yourself.
Yeah. So to excuse the pun, it'll be cool to talk to them.
It'll be very cool to talk to him, right? So that'll be next week. We'll talk to Alex and
what happens next? Did I just see Kim come running in here? Yep.
Yeah, Kim's
Hi,
here.
Kim.
Getting ready for Thunder Road.
Yep. Talk about Motormouth and road stuff, and
Right.
we had Roadkill. There's a lot of roading going on
Yeah,
today.
you see that? I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's not what they give me for dinner tonight. Here,
I
Dad.
I don't know. Are you planning on driving down to West Virginia
No, I'm
or
not.
Arkansas or something?
No, I'm not.
Yeehaw.
But I'll tell you what, for now, let's roll on down the road. We'll drive out of here. Joe,
Yep.
happy Father's Day.
You too, sir.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.
For Joe D, Ray Guarino, Motormouth Radio, we'll be back next week.
Take care.